red light on.
Got the red light on, right.
Cheers, Jim.
Cheers, Rob.
I'll tell you what, there are all sorts of lights up here.
Ooh, it is a little bit early for this slow. Still a long way.
I've got a check for you.
Nice.
Tonight.
Not sleeping, mate. Just in case. Put your in the car.
These with the boys.
Crazy driving.
Is he? Not in his car. See him for lunch then.
Mr. Punctuality himself.
Where are you now, Frosty?
Oh man.
Hey, Frosty.
A little bit close to the edge. Yeah. Far enough away. Far enough.
Oh, marvellous. Absolutely marvellous.
Nobody's backs.
Yes, indeed. How very sad.
Hello, Mum.
Jim's aspiring to in 2 years' time. This woman was over there with the kids. Jim's mum, looking radiant. Jim, Jim's dad, looking like me. Some old dude over there. Okay. Andy and Frosty, say hello to the boys.
Still got the price tag.
Just trying to get his eye back in.
I thought it'd be...
Oh, wedding final. No idea who they are, never mind.
You haven't put them on.
Great man
I'll tell
arrived.
you something in a second. Here he is. Hello?
This is the start
Great man from the north.
Dog hound of hell. And I've kept the form. Oh, great. All you got to do is say that you put it on and that your mum's been eaten or your...
No work. Andy, I'm trying to take pictures of this bloke over it.
Are we doing...
Always approved. Don't they?
we should.
Don't they? So it cleans off the big
Hello.
Why not?
Because...
No. It's the stripper.
It's the stripper.
How's it going?
How's it going? Alright, how's it going?
I thought we were late. We're hearing the bells going. Oh, nice direction. Driving style. Took a change about 5 minutes ago on the hard shoulder, yeah.
People are going fast like this, their tracks are slipping. What time did you leave?
7 o'clock. We came from work and we didn't come from anywhere. Yeah. 7 o'clock.
Yeah, got him out back there.
Medical vet. Is it medical sales rep? Hello.
He wins the title position.
Strap those ears back.
Right, how do Frosty, boy? Alright. Hey, Hitch. I'm trying to do the hard shoulder as well. Dry shoes.
Strictly Saturday.
Come on.
This is the unofficial video.
Did anybody find out?
Well, yeah, he fell asleep in his car, and he, I'll cut it. You know where Jim is? Yes. Here we go. Whoa! Is that not appropriate size? Oh dear. You know they are too. Looking pretty creepy, aren't they? Look at the shoes. Oh no! Oh god! No!
Lumbers.
Love the camera, love the camera. Not a bad job, eh? See, this is God's good. Still, never mind, darling.
I think everybody else was reading not her. She said to me last week, she said,
Howard.
Hello. What? Marvellous crowd here today at Much Wenlock. The wedding of probably the day. Jim and Cal. Marvellous scenes here. Bright sunny day, as you can tell. You don't promise?
Behind that stone there too.
Well.
I've got a lot of photos of that chap's bag. Photographers. Give him the boot.
You don't want me again, then? No. Okay. All the best.
Hey Jim, do you have any jokes?
Yeah, go on, tell us one then.
Cheese sandwich walks into a pub and says, "I'd like a pint of lager, please." And the barman says, "I'm sorry, sir, we don't serve food."
Oh, God.
Hey, listen, that's the best I can do, all right?
You're mixed company.
You missed all this intrigue. Oh, sorry. Stuff going on here. Oh, what a good shot. Oh, that's a fucking system.
Everybody says it, I'm sure. She's a very sensitive girl, a very loving girl, but very, very deep thinking girl. And that brings me to a little incident that happened a good few years ago, when she was no more than 7 or maybe 8, when this deep thinking really came out, when she started to realise that initials of people meant things. Not only initials of people, but car numbers as well. She would look at the car number and she would see names where we wouldn't, and she would begin talking. So she got to thinking one day about this initial business, and she got to realise that her initials, Caroline Angela Williams, spelled core. She she brought this to my attention, and I never even thought about it, you wouldn't do. But she'd also realised that her sisters, Debbie June Williams, that didn't mean anything, really, as far as spelling. I don't mean it didn't mean anything, but it didn't read anything, you see, and then there was Sue Elizabeth, which spelled so. Because she said, well, Daddy, that so is what ladies do, but caw is what crows do. I said, well, I'm sorry, sweetheart, but you're stuck with it. And, you just have to live with it. But of course, you have to live with it until today, when her initials now spell. They do very attached to
Everybody, thank you very much for those very kind words. I wasn't late writing this, so I will keep it very brief. And as I was advised to do last night, was to stand up, speak up, and then just shut up. First, I must say a big thanks to everybody for coming today. It's always already done. It's great to see so many people, especially my friends from Scotland. They've come a long way. They seem to be behaving themselves very well. So far, yeah. And the boys from college over there seem to be having a good time. It's good to see them again. Also like to say thank you to many of Cal's friends, some who I already know, some who I haven't met before, but it's good to see them. And also to all my family, come a long way from the south coast. Arduous journey yesterday afternoon and this morning, I know. And all of to Caroline's family, who I haven't had a chance yet to meet, but hopefully we'll do later on. It's been a great day for us, and very memorable. Something that we've been talking about for a long time. It took us a long time to actually get here. I think the one memory when we did actually announce back in the summer that we were to be getting married, and these are my dad's words and nobody else's, about bloody time too. Well, we did actually get here and we said yes. Well, we're thinking about getting married maybe in the autumn, maybe in the spring. So before we even knew it, Pam, or he'd booked the church for the 20th. There was no going back then. We had it all organised. But I must say a big thank you for everything you've done today. It's a wonderful day for us. And for making the cake, which is absolutely superb. I don't know how many people had a good look at it, but it's all handmade. It's taken many hours. And it's very, very beautiful.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for all coming here today. Before I start, I'd really just like to read out a few of the cards. There's been quite a few messages of congratulation. I was honoured. As Dad said, I think it was about time too. And I always hoped that he would marry Carol after I'd met her after the first time. So I'm very happy to be here today. But it led me to realise that I've got to do, obviously, the stag do, and as Jem said, I was 3 hours late for that. I've got to make sure that he gets to the church on time. Well, I did that this morning, but I didn't yesterday. And then I thought, well, I've got to write and make a speech. And I thought, when I sat down about a month ago to do that, that would be a doddle. And I sat down with a cheap bottle of claret for inspiration, and sat there and emptied the bottle of claret, and still had no inspiration. 1 week went past, another week went past, and then another week went past, and I still had nothing to say about Jim. much. But then it really hit me about last week when I sat outside my manager's office. I only recently just joined the firm. I was going for my first quarterly appraisal, like a school report, but how well you're doing in your job. And I thought, well, really, it's about time after 27 years that you had an appraisal. So here we go. Okay? Now the appraisal runs quite simply on a grading of A to E, and it runs under various headings. And I've just noted down a few things, perhaps of areas that you can improve, okay? Here we go. First off, under the first heading, Jim, we have motivation. Right? Now, I don't know if you know, but before Jim met Cal, Jim was motivated only really in one way. All he needed to be motivated was a stretch of water, a strong breeze, and a windsurf board. and the fact that it would take him half an hour to get down to the water, get set up and get windsurfing. That's all changed now he's met Cal. The motivation has increased. Now all he needs is a stretch of water, strong breeze, a windsurf board, but now it only takes him 10 minutes. So, but in relation to other parts of your life, Jim, I'm afraid, motivation, grading A to E, and it's a bit like the Eurovision Song Contest. Grading. Next, Jim, we move on to responsibility. Now, I've got a whole card written down here about you and responsibility. But your responsibility just came down to me today as we sat here having our main course. I really wanted just to slip a couple of necessary things into their going away case. I said, look, Jim, I'm the best man, you must let me have the keys so that you can so I can get into that case. He said, what keys? Oh, damn, I can't get into the case. The keys are back in Oxford, so on the way back down tonight, we've got to go and pick up the keys from Oxford so that he can get into the wedding phase. Responsibility, Jim. But I will read out, because I think this is close to my heart, as regards to responsible. Jim, concerning me, has always been very responsible. As all older brothers do, or should do, older brothers should always introduce their younger brothers for the first time to the perils of alcohol. This occurred many years ago, and I don't think Mum and Dad know about this, or if they do, they kept very stum. This occurred 5-6 years ago when we lived in France, and it was very simple. All it involved was 3.5 litres of cheap clonk, which Jim supplied, I think Dad supplied, I don't know about it actually. And a set of dice. Right? Yes. I'm sure the boys from college would know, just a normal game of rolling the dice, you pick a number, and if you roll the number that you pick, the other person drinks. And of course, I'm very naive when it comes to drinking games at the tender age of, what, 13 or 14. So Jem picks the number 7, doesn't he? It comes up so many more times. I pick double 6. 3.5 litres later, and it's the majority I've drunk, I'm very ill and put to bed. But having said that, Jim was very responsible for me the next morning. And I got up and looked like death, and Mum said, "You don't look too well." Jim pipes up very quickly. "Must have been something he ate, Mum. Must have been something he ate." But I'm afraid, responsibility, you still get a grade E because you still manage to stitch me up every time. What am I going to do? And I've often thought, well, what would Jim do here? And I've gone through it that way. And most times it's worked out right. Not every time, I'll say, but most times it's worked out right. But secondly, in achieving your objectives, I think in marrying Cal, you're obviously not only marrying a beautiful young lady, but you're marrying somebody who makes you very happy, and I know that from the times that I've seen you together down in Oxford. But I think Cal's also got a lot of happiness from you. And I really just want to say that I hope that this happiness, and I wish you that all the good luck in the world will last for all the years to come. Thank you.
No, keep going.
Have a good time tonight.